2GB News Talk 87, an entry in the Papers. Category 11B, the best continuous news team service, 2GB. In 1986, 2GB, the flagship of the Macquarie Network, has leapt clear of the field and has enhanced its reputation as Sydney's best, most comprehensive and consistent news service. 2GB, Australia's biggest commercial newsroom, continues to lead the way with experience, depth of coverage and sheer weight of numbers. Apart from being first with the major events, 2GB has the people to develop and update those stories and to be at all the big jobs. 86 has been a big year, highlighted by the prestigious Walkley Award going to Felicity Moffat for her outstanding coverage of the Lionel Murphy retrial and acquittal. In a year of legal dramas and complexities in New South Wales, Moffat has given a thorough but clear picture. Her knowledge and expertise has attracted widespread acclaim from journalists throughout the radio industry and from the other news media as well.
Lionel Murphy has emerged from the old Banco court an emotional and triumphant man. His wife choking back tears and his two young sons at his side, Lionel Murphy reaffirmed his faith in the jury system. The verdict, as it was announced in the courtroom, brought a deafening cheer. It ends a 2-year ordeal for the High Court judge, who last year emerged from the same court a disgraced man convicted on one of 2 charges.
Walkley Award winner, Felicity Moffat. Another award highlight for the 2GB News team this year has been a presentation from the New South Wales Ambulance Paramedics Service. The award to 2GB, the only radio news recipient, is in recognition of newsroom support given to the paramedics, especially during their exhaustive work in the Sydney flood tragedy.
Reports earlier had said that these people were stranded as a result of, obviously, the water, and they were, in actual fact, perched in a tree for a period of time trying to get away from the rising floodwaters. We've taken a total of 5 patients for that incident at Plump. 3 have gone to the Mount Good Hospital, and another 2 patients have gone to the Blacktown Hospital.
The Ambulance Award highlights the 2GB Newsroom's commitment to community service. This commitment has been boosted in 1986 by the acquisition of the 2GB Westpac Rescue Helicopter Service. The chopper performs a wide variety of community work, ranging from the life-saving rescues to assisting police and other emergency services. These missions are broadcast, often live to air, on 2GB news bulletins and programs via two-way radio from the helicopter.
He'd fallen approximately 15 metres down the face of the cliff. It looked as though he was going down to the fishing site via a rope, and it looks like he's fallen off a ledge approximately 15 metres from the bottom of the cliff.
1986 has also seen the 2GB News team selected by the Navy to spearhead its 75th birthday celebrations, a spectacular week of festivities in Sydney involving more than 24 warships from the US, Britain and Australia. 2GB journalists covered and promoted the entire proceedings from on board the ships themselves and from vantage points around Sydney Harbour.
The sleek grey vessels cut through the harbour in the grey morning, and one group of international ships was escorted in by a flypast of naval helicopters and Harrier jets, launched from HMS Illustrious, the British aircraft carrier, which was the last to steam through the heads this afternoon. The ships will be docked in harbour for at least a week. Jenny Shear, Macquarie National News, Sydney.
Hundreds of Missouri's crew lined her decks in full dress uniform. The huge 16-inch guns pointed skyward in bristle position as helicopters, both naval and civilian, swarmed overhead. At each harbour vantage point, thousands of people gathered, craning their necks for a final glimpse of this historic warship.
Another Navy first saw Terry Galloway spend 3 weeks on board HMAS Stalwart as it successfully carried out the Antarctic rescue mission to Macquarie Island. Terry was the only radio journalist invited to be part of the operation, and he filed regular reports by ship-to-shore telephone.
The unloading and the resupply of Macquarie Island by Stewart is complete. And just at the moment there's the stepping down, the finalising of the operation. Looks like we could be up and away and away from Macquarie Island within a very short space of time. Over.
Overseas, 2GB has gone further ahead with extensive news coverage of world events through the purchase of the London-based international broadcast services boasting 300 correspondents around the world.
Jim Roberts, Macquarie National News, London.
Ryan Allen, Macquarie National News, Manila.
Forrest Boyd, Macquarie National News, the White House.
David Smith, Macquarie National News, Johannesburg.
Richard Phillips, Macquarie National News, Paris.
Over the past past year, to supplement the IBS International Network, 2GB's news team has demonstrated an increasing willingness to travel far and wide to be on the scene of the major news stories. Craig Middleton flew to Malaysia to report on the emotional weeks leading up to the Barlow and Chambers hangings. He was first to air in Australia with confirmation of the deaths, beating a previously prepared AAP Reuters wire snap and all other Australian media in Kuala Lumpur, including 3 radio journalists.
As dozens of wristwatches sounded the hour, all those gathered knew the Australian prisoners were dead men. The bodies would have been left hanging for half an hour until all life was extinct. The death certificates written, both men's bodies were loaded into a large green truck and driven out of the front gate. A fact confirmed by a prison officer. Barlow's body will be cremated here and his ashes taken to Adelaide. Chambers will be buried in Perth. Craig Middleton, Macquarie National News, Kuala Lumpur.
Back home, Terry Galloway and other colleagues left their rivals behind, being wherever news happened.
Lawrence said he'd drowned Mark Mott and Ralph Burns for the thrill of it. Detective Matthews said that Lawrence told him that as the boys drowned, he'd become sexually aroused. Terry Galloway, Macquarie National News, Griffith. 45-year-old Patrick Francis Horan shot and killed Constable Paul Quinn at Purple last Easter. Constable Ian Borland suffered 2 bullet wounds, one that permanently shortened his left leg. Terry Galloway, Macquarie National News, Supreme Court Bathurst.
The 4-year-old boy was suffering scalding because of a wet nappy that had obviously not been changed for some time and was infested with cockroaches. He also has rope burn marks where he had been tied to a door, allegedly for days on end, to stop him getting into the cupboard. Jenny Shear, Macquarie National News, Penrith Court.
The chemical was originally identified as an arterial blood spray and formed a central part of the Crown's murder case against the Chamberlains. Dr. Raymond has told the court his extensive tests, carried out under strict supervision, have failed to find any blood in the car. Felicity Moffat, Macquarie National News, Melbourne.
2GB, Sydney's most listened to news service. The Murphy saga, the flood crisis, Barlow Chambers, and the 3-state hunt for a Rambo-like killer. 2GB News, a team effort. 2GB News Talk 87, an entry in the papers. Category 11B, the best continuous news team service, 2GB. 2GB News Talk 87, an entry in the papers.